If I woke up tomorrow and I had to start my job search from scratch, these are the exact steps that I would take as a recruiter in 2026. Hi, my name is Kim. I am a big tech recruiter and career advancement expert. I help professionals land higher paying jobs without all the stress or confusion. So if you want to make more money in 2026, please give my channel a follow. In today's video, I'm going to give step-by-step advice that will help you actually land a job in 2026. Not generic advice, not fluff advice, not advice from someone who's never been involved in hiring, advice from someone who actually is on the other side of the screen after you click apply. So, the first thing that I want to acknowledge is if you are looking for work, especially in today's climate, it may be that you're looking for work unexpectedly or unintentionally. So, the first thing that I want to say is it's okay to give yourself a little bit of grace. It's a tough job market right now. So, understand that more often than not, when someone's looking for work right now, it actually has nothing to do with your skill set or your capabilities as a professional. So please know that before we get started. This is probably going to be a lengthier process than you would hope for, but the steps that I give you today are going to speed that process along because you will be able to do less steps more strategically. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you are updating the basics. Dust out that resume and take a look at it. What is missing since the last time that you updated it? Truth be told, everyone says we're supposed to update our resume all the time, but we know that as human beings and as professionals, it's so easy to not do that. Understand it's okay that you haven't been updating it, and let's update it now. So look at your job titles and those main accomplishments that are listed. Are they an accurate reflection of the work that you had done since the last time that you updated your resume? If not, throw in some of those key changes into the resume. We don't have to do a huge overhaul yet, but just enough to identify the things that you were most recently working on and accomplishing in your most recent job. At this stage in the game, something that is done and usable is far more helpful than something that is perfect. The next thing that you want to do is you want to reach out to your immediate network. Now, no, this doesn't mean the post on LinkedIn that says I was recently impacted or that you're just looking for a new job. If you want to do that, you can. But what I would suggest is taking this updated resume with the bare bones bullet points that you've included and then reaching out to some trusted folks in your network, people that you used to work with or that you have a mentorship relationship with, someone that is trusted and who knows more intimately the work accomplishments that you were achieving in your most recent role. This could even be folks that you have kept in touch with from university or from school. Why this is helpful is because you haven't done a huge overhaul of your resume, but the people that you would be reaching out to are the ones who would be, one, far more likely to understand the day-to-day duties that you were accomplishing, and two, they're going to be the ones who are closest to you and will be more likely to want to advocate on your behalf. Once you've done that, the next step is to do a little bit of research. You're going to start looking at job boards and online postings to see what the market is actually hiring for right now on external postings. This could be a search on Google Jobs or LinkedIn or the job search boards of the companies that you know you would be targeting to work for next. The purpose of this is to see, okay, what does the market look like right now for folks with my skill set in my industry? Just start in your geographic area for now. No need to expand upon that yet. But if what you yield is not a whole lot of job postings, you may need to increase those parameters outside of your current geographic area just to see what those roles are looking like right now. As you're looking at these job postings, make note of a few things. Are most of these roles contract or full-time? Are most of these roles in leadership or management or individual contributor? Which industry are these roles more prevalent in? All of this data is information as you start to construct your own job search strategy. You see, this data is just going to help you know where you fit in. It's not meant to intimidate you, it's not meant to scare you, and it's certainly not meant to defeat you. It's actually there to empower you. Because once you have an understanding of what is actually true and the lay of the land as you step into your job search process, you will then be informed and be able to make more strategic steps as you navigate the process. It's all about positioning and communicating your value in relation to the needs of the problems of this potential new employer. And how can you talk about the needs of those potential new employers if you don't know what those employers actually need and who they are? The next step is networking. Now, most people hear the word networking and it makes them cringe. And honestly, I don't love that word either. It feels schmoozy, it feels gross, and it feels like an elevator pitch to a stranger. That is not what I'm advocating for today. What I'm advocating for is understanding how to actually network effectively. You just make it about the other person. You engage in a conversation. Perfect example. Let's say you have to go to a continuing education event for your certification, and there is a speaker there on the panel, and you really admired a an essay that they wrote. And so afterwards, you approach them and ask them a follow-up question in regards to the panel discussion. Or maybe someone asked a question to the panel at that same event. So you approach that person and say, I really found so much value in the question that you asked. I actually have some insights for a follow-up question. Do you have a moment? And then speak with them about that. Seriously, folks, networking is just peopling. That's all it is. It's identifying a person and then connecting with them in a one-on-one sort of way. You can do this in person or you can do this online as well. But the way to make it not feel icky is to make it about the other person. It would feel weird to just go up to a stranger and say, Hi, nice to meet you. I like your shirt. Do you have a job for me? That's so out of left field. And that's what makes it feel icky, is because there's no peopling involved. Truly, I understand how stressful it is to look for work. And I really, really understand the pressure that you start to feel, especially if it's been a few months looking and grinding, trying to find a job. But just know that the more you lean into the peopling, the less you'll have to grind because you are building more genuine relationships. And folks, you only need one. You just need one job. You just need one person to say, hey, have we considered this candidate? You just need one. So invest in the interpersonal, especially in this time with AI and everything's moving so fast and it's automated. Folks who rely on the personal, the peopling, are the ones that are really going to stand out. There's a lot of people out there that will tell you to focus on volume, just apply to a bunch of jobs. But in order to avoid burnout, if you are looking for a professional role in this job market, I am encouraging you to do things a little bit differently and to focus on quality instead of quantity. Now, of course, you are going to have to apply to jobs and probably more jobs than in a different job market that we would even a few years ago. But focusing on quality is going to get you a higher return on investment of your own energy and time. So, what I mean by that is applying to jobs where you feel like you are a solid fit for that role, not something that feels like a maybe fit or this is an aspirational move for me career wise. Now, if you have the bandwidth or the time or the financial runway to invest in those job opportunities, by all means apply to those. But more often than not, in this job market, employers are looking for someone who is able to hit the ground running. And what I mean by that is this person going to be able to do the job at the scope and scale that we are doing this work in order to effectively solve problems that we are solving on our team? Remember, you are job searching differently than everyone else. And how that's going to be beneficial to you is you understand the pain points of the potential new employer, and you are going to be able to speak to those in your applications and your resume. If you've seen any of my previous content, you know that I love the relevant accomplishment section. That is going to be the key component of your application that makes you stand out. That is where you're going to tell this potential new employer, look at these problems that I have solved in the past. They are similar to the types of problems that your team is potentially experiencing. And see the success. I can bring that success to you on your team. Folks, you're taking the question marks out of your application. You're making it obvious to this potential new employer that you are the right match, that you are the solution to their problems. And you can do that by investing your energy in quality in your applications. Now, I'm not saying write a new resume and a new cover letter and a new everything for every single job. That is not necessary, because chances are an ICU nurse at this hospital is the same as the ICU nurse at that hospital, it's the same as the ICU nurse at this healthcare system. But having a resume that is tailored to the type of work that you are targeting to do, with accomplishments that will be similar to what that group of employers is needing in an employee, that will serve you so much better than just applying to every job that looks interesting. Like I've said before, please feel free to apply to whatever you want to apply to. And by all means, I do want people to apply for those stretch jobs, but just know that in this job market, more often than not, hiring managers are looking for folks who have already achieved successes in similar work. So focus most of your energy there first. So that's the honest truth about job search in 2026. As someone who looks at applications after they are submitted and the one who sees who gets offers and who doesn't, these are the steps that I would take if I was unexpectedly looking for work in this job market. I'm not saying it's going to be the fastest road or the easiest road, but you can make it easier by following these steps as you kick off your job search process. Thanks so much for watching my video. Please give my channel a follow. I post twice a week about resumes, job search advice, my take on the job market, and I would love to see you back here again. Thanks and happy job hunting. Bye-bye.